Hello, everybody. This is Etienne Marcel, and welcome to another edition of the Fighting Peaches. Today, we are continuing presenting our coverage from the 2025 Sunbelt Football Media Days, which has turned into really a season preview for this upcoming football season, which is right around the corner. Today, we are speaking with Louisiana Monroe starting tight end Nate Sullivan Jr. Before we get to Nate from the Media Day festivities, as always, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership to sportsinquirer.net for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And just look us up under Sports Inquirer or Etienne Marcel Pursuit. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, and more. Just look us up and you'll see our items there, including just continued progression of the football media days. All the Eastern Division teams are up. We're working through the West right now. And here is Louisiana Monroe football player Nate Sullivan Jr. From earlier this summer. Enjoy.
With Louisiana Monroe starting at tight end, Nate Sullivan. Uh, you were another transfer from the program last year from Iowa Western, but found yourself on the team and had a good impact. Just what about the second year with the Warhawks? How's that been for you getting ready for the 2025 campaign?
It's been great. Just coming in last year in the summertime, not being obviously named the starter, having to earn that role and earn that position. So I had a chip on my shoulder coming in from a JUCO, just ready to work. And then just being this year, just I'm a senior. I'm ready to finish strong, finish the right way. So
How did you work on this offseason to get better and to improve?
just staying consistent and focusing on little tangibles that make me a better player and working on things that maybe I struggled with last year. So just coming in and working on those things throughout the off season in the spring, I feel like it's going to just make me that much of a better player. Coming into this season.
Yeah, and there was so much turnover last year, yourself included. But now you bring back probably the most amount of players in the conference. How has that made things different compared to so many moving parts from last year to this year?
It makes a lot of difference. Just the chemistry aspect of it. I feel like obviously last year, a brand new coaching staff coming into the university, brand new players. We had 40 something players come in obviously in the spring with the new coaching staff, and then the other half of our team come in during that summertime, which I was a part of. And so, just this year compared to last year is just that chemistry and that bond between us. We've had a whole year to gather each other and really get close and connect. So
Yeah, I saw online that you were aspirations to become a real estate agent. Is that still true?
yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm looking to buy my first home. What's like the first thing I should do as a potential new homeowner? This is legitimate. We're not. This is not for camera. This is for a living in an apartment, and then I'm trying to make that move.
Just making sure you're talking to the right agent. That's what I would say. Making sure that you have the necessities that you want, and making sure that you have somebody who's gonna sell you the right things.
I like it. I like it. I will just end here once again with Nate Sullivan Jr. from Louisiana Monroe football. Favorite stadium that you've been able to play in as besides Monroe as a prep player or even a collegiate level?
I say kind of what just like what Billy said, Texas. I think that was a cool atmosphere to be a part of and playing. They had a lot of extra things going on out outside of just the football game. During halftime they had like some light thing that they did. So I think that was the best stadium I played in.
Yeah, favorite uniform combination for Monroe.
I would say the all black. I like the all black combo for sure.
You have such a beautiful maroon and gold. Everyone goes black. I don't like it, but no, I could respect that. Uh, let's see. Oh, how do you? Yeah, pregame. How do you prepare for your pregame? Do you have a particular meal, music? How have you been? How do you handle that?
I just put going to the locker room. I'll take 15 minutes to myself just to put my headphones on and tune in, listen to my music, and then obviously start getting ready, just stretching out, doing extra foam roll, band work, and stuff like that to get ready and prepare.
I also saw that you're into gaming. Uh, 2 questions. Are we gonna get a Grand Theft Auto in the next year or so? And what's a favorite game of yours or two?
Man, I hope we get that GTA 6. We were supposed to get it this year, but obviously, they're still in the works of it and still trying to make it that much better, which I hope it lives up to the hype. But my favorite game right now, I say is college football, obviously, but I play a lot of 2K too. My part.
All right. And just what's final question here? What's one maybe advice or statement or something you kind of try to live by that you carry over?
I live by just that chip on my shoulder mentality and that edge. I've been really an underdog, my whole life, just as far as, recruitment and stuff. And I just live by just keeping my head down and grinding every single day to prove myself.
All right. Appreciate your time.
All right, and we thank Nate for his time at the Sunbelt Football Media Days earlier this summer. Looking forward to seeing what the Warhawks do on the field this season for Louisiana Monroe. As always, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership to sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also head to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video hosts, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.